Brilliant, thank you very much, Ruby. And next we have Guy. Do we have Guy? Yes. Hi, Guy.
This is just a very short story, and I don't think it's got any sex in it. It's called The Single Agent. The main crossroads. Wait there for Gunter. Tuesdays at 5 or Wednesdays at 11. It could be several weeks. Try not to look too similar. Here's a picture. A man in a roll-neck sweater getting off the bus, his head still in the darkness. Best we could do, I'm afraid. The photographer got 3 years. He's definitely coming. It's your job to be there if he does. Remember, it's carrots on Tuesday and onions on Wednesday. He'll be easily alarmed. 30 years of watching in cafes, trying to distinguish the particular from the everyday from behind a newspaper. 20 years ago it may have been Gunter or Mazarov, now it was Farik or Alvarez. The location had changed, the weather was hotter, and the code words were as protocol as ever. Arthur had been a single agent for too long, a man whose discretion was so relied upon he was virtually forgotten. Once he'd waited 6 months for Roberto before a London remembered to tell him that they'd shot him by mistake. Every town has 2 squares, he'd learned. A lifetime of observance and of carefully keeping receipts. A spy can drink a lot of coffee. Arthur had never married. They still talk like that in the service. Arthur had never married, as though it was simply a case of not quite getting around to something. I always meant to see the mouse truck, but somehow I never did. Marriage had never come to Arthur. He had been too faithful, perhaps. Only one target at a time, one face in the mind's eye. He had brought plenty in. Gunter, Mazarov, Henrik, Salvatore, Grish, Kamenetz, Rolf, Vasquez, Ibrahim, Farid, Gonda, Jackson and Jackson. He didn't have pictures, of course. Mother kept them. He remembered the names, a litany of conquests won over by his quiet English politeness and correct use of code words. Arthur liked to move at least once a year. It was partly what he used his leave for, to reassemble his possessions. The office did much the same with his cover, a yearly makeover, the same basic ingredients. He was always travelling or newly arrived. Once they had had him as separated from Susan, but mostly he had never married there either. There were colleagues, of course, some of whom invited him for weekends, even a holiday. Charles's wife Sarah made a pass at him by the embassy pool in Dakar. Arthur did quite like her, but she was tipsy. She tried to cover it up by falling gracefully into the pool with her glass aloft. Arthur feigned a phone call and left the next day. Berlin had been the best. The coffee was crap and the cafes cold and full of spies, but you could get one over both the Russians and the Americans at the same time, and there was nothing they could do about it then. Now he was in Rome. A certain Abdul Zahir Kaishi might, or might not, want to talk to them. There was no connection with Rome, just that Al-Qaeda were acquiring aspirations. Tuesday at the Trevi Fountains, or Wednesday in the Piazza Delano. He was a tourist with ambitions to travel. It was early summer, and the growing bald patch on his head required a hat. Mr. Quaishi would arrive by horse-drawn carriage. Splash was the new incognito. It certainly saved on scanning, and Arthur found himself unprofessionally absorbed in the newspaper. The local council had a new plan for the Starlings. And then a voice, "Monsieur, is this seat taken? I'm waiting for my wife. Will she be long? She is buying onions in the market." He could hardly believe he was saying this. This was not Mr. Quaishi. Perhaps the office had a secret spy program and were checking him out. Perhaps this was the French. We are the French, Arthur. The seats on the tables around him had filled up. I was beginning to suspect as much. You will need to come with us. I'm waiting for someone. Your wife? Not exactly. Monsieur Rambert will wait for him for you. He is a very good waiter. And then very briefly, it's the time of year when the favoured yellow flower of poetry comes out. So this is a poem about dandelions. In my backyard the dandelions lift their skirts up to the sun and beseech me to take them seriously. Are we not art, they cry? Are we not as proud and forthright in our yellowness as others? Are we not, in fact, more imbued with essential vigour than some of those more decadent blooms you cosset? Oh, you fly-no Philistine, is not the subtle curvature of our stems as much reflection on an inner truth as you are going to get in this dump, quite frankly? Are we not, as the self-sustaining creative expression of the proletariat, crushed by the jackboots of bourgeois horticultural imperialism? We will rise up, they clamour. You invariably do.